everybody. Remember me? Sorry it's been so long since I've done a video, but like I said in my last video, I don't have a camera, because mine decided it was gonna die, so my sister let me use hers, and so hopefully this turns out. And I wanted to show you, tell me if you can see them. I wanted to show you my nails, and they are, I have this nail is green for Cerebral Palsy Awareness, because this month is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Month, and on March 25th is Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day. And the colors I used are CoverGirl's Outlast, 245, Go Go Mango, and for the green, Revlon's 571 Tosh. But that's where the good part of this video ends, because I'm really mad right now and I wanted to do a video about it, because something happened to me today that wasn't so good. So I wanted to talk about it and some other things that need to change. Today, my mom and Brittany and I went out for lunch together at a restaurant here in town. I will say no names, but it was a buffet restaurant, and we were eating, and I went up there to get some food, and the way it's set up, I had to park my chair sideways instead of coming straight at it. I had to go sideways. So I'm reaching in to get the food that I want, and when I do, I had to lean over. Well, when I leaned over, I finally got the food that I wanted, and a lady came up behind me when I was sitting back up straight. A lady came up behind me, turns out it was a waitress, and then she's like, she snatched this pizza that was next to what I was trying to get. She snatched the pizza out of the way, and it startled me, and she said, "Oh, I'm sorry," and then went over there to another lady and said, "Oh, I need another pizza." So this waitress comes up, I guess she's a waitress, I don't know, but anyway, she comes up and doesn't introduce herself, doesn't say, "I'm so-and-so, I'm the manager," or whatever, and she comes up behind me, and instead of addressing me face to face, she comes up behind me and starts touching my hair and said, "I just wanted to make sure you didn't have any pizza sauce in your hair, because your hair touched the pizza." Instead of asking me, did you realize this happened? Or, instead of, asking me if she could touch me first, she just, "Oh, I just want to make sure you didn't have any pizza sauce in your hair." And when I pulled up there to get my food, I'm not saying my hair might not have touched the pizza. I'm not saying that, because accidents happen. What I'm saying is there's better ways to handle the situation. And it really made me mad, because that's an invasion of personal space, especially for someone with a disability who has a hard time with personal space anyway. And she could have come up to me face to face instead of standing behind me and been like, "Hey, this happened, and I just want to let you know, just in case you didn't realize," and drop it at that. But instead she comes up and starts messing with my hair, and that's a big no-no. And another thing, while I'm on the subject of things that need to change, I wanted to talk about a few other things. One of the things is the bathrooms in public places, any public place, restaurants, churches, even, basically anywhere. Most public places, with the exception of a few, their definition of an accessible bathroom, is basically throwing a rail on the wall and saying that's it. But people in a wheelchair need so much more than just a rail on the wall. We need a wide door to come in and out of, because we have a wheelchair, or even maybe crutches or walker or something like that. So we need a wider door to come in and out of. We also need a bigger bathroom area to fit our mobility devices, or maybe someone to help us. Like I have to have someone to help me. So just saying that there's a rail on the wall and that's accessible is not only wrong, but it doesn't meet the ADA standards, which is not good. And that really needs to change because bathrooms are that way. I can't go hardly any place I'd like to. You know, I can't go shopping in certain stores. I can't go to eat at certain places. I can't, you know, and it's just not right. Because, well, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And, you know, that's not an option at some of these places. It needs to change. Something else that needs to change. Movie theaters. Now, you might think, what's wrong with movie theaters? They're the place for you set aside in the front. That's the problem. See, when you're in a wheelchair, well, when you have CP, I don't want to speak for everybody in a wheelchair, but a lot of times when you have CP, you also have neck problems. And if you're sitting right up front in the movie theater, you have to look up at the movie like this for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And that's going to hurt your neck. And you're not going to really enjoy the movie because you're having to look up right there at it. And so, and that's going to be painful. I haven't been to the movie theater since I was 19 years old. Actually, on my 19th birthday, because that's the only thing I wanted to do for my birthday was go to the movies. But I haven't been there since I was 19 years old because of the spaces in the front. You're either in the very front where you have to break your neck and look up, or you're in the very back where you can't see over all the tall people. So that needs to change because we want to go to the movies too. There has been countless movies that I've wanted to go see that I can't because of that. And also the bathrooms at the movie theaters aren't always accessible either. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you, I can probably count on both my hands how many movies I've seen in my entire life. And that's not good. But, alright, the next thing I want to talk about is the way people act towards people with CP. Cerebral palsy means brain damage, yes. But, that being said, it's kind of like an umbrella term, meaning brain damage. But brain damage does not mean low IQ. And most people would, I think it's like 6 out of 10 people with CP have normal, nearly normal, or superior intelligence. And we deserve to be spoken to and treated like that. You know, we don't need to be treated like we're children just because we're in a wheelchair, or just because we may not be able to speak as clearly as you, or whatever. And I have been to restaurants and stores, like grocery shopping and stuff, and people, not necessarily the employees, but people in general, like if I go to Walmart to go grocery shopping or whatever, people will, if I pull over to get something out of a freezer or something, people will stand behind me and act like, you know, like with an attitude like I shouldn't be there. And it's like, hey, I have a right to be here too, you know, I gotta have food to live too, you know, and I have just as much right, if not more, to be there than you do, because, and it's not fair, you know, we should be able to go out in public without the fear of how someone's going to treat us. I mean, you know, it may take us longer to get what we're looking for, but that doesn't mean you have to be hateful and impatient. And hey, if you're busy and you're in a hurry and, you know, I happen to be parked somewhere and you need to get around, all you have to do is say, excuse me. 2 words, excuse me, that's it. And I'll be glad to move out of your way, but don't act impatient with me, or anyone else for that matter, because we have just as much right as you do to be there. So please remember that. So I think that's about all I wanted to talk about, and I want to thank you for watching, because I know it's not the best video to be sitting down and watching as a rant, because nobody wants to hear anybody complain, but I think the things that I said needed to be said, and hopefully it made you think. So maybe next time you go out to a restaurant or to the movies or grocery shopping or hang out with your friends, you know, maybe next time if you see somebody in a wheelchair or with CP being mistreated, maybe you'll speak up. I hope you will. But, before I go, I wanted to tell you that this is going to be my last video for a couple of weeks probably, because I'm hoping to get a camera soon, but everywhere I look doesn't have one. So, but hopefully soon. So, okay, I think talk to you later. Bye.